Hello, good afternoon, late afternoon, and in this video we'll go over the latest news in immigration, where we currently stand with the bills and just pretty much the latest news, what is really going on. So as you can see with this article, the President Biden, uh, basically today was his first major press conference, and he talked about a lot of things, but we're going to focus on immigration. And as you can see, the title says immigration takes center stage. The filibuster remains, and other takeaways from Biden's first news conference. Okay, it was today on day 65 of his office. They have like 100 days. They have to come up with solid things that has to be accomplished within the 100 days. So let's talk about what he said about immigration. Okay, first and foremost, he said that he is not going to apologize for his immigration policies, and he is not going to send kids away, because the main thing that is going on currently is the crisis at the border, and that's what they're talking about because of his policy, and because he said that he was going to have a more humane immigration reform, more humane approach to immigration, and people are coming. People are really coming, and we saw that they keep telling people, sending people back. But he said that he is not going to send kids back. That's what he said, but we don't know for sure if it's happening, but that's what he said. And this is what he said about immigration. Immigration border issues remain at the forefront. Okay, and the president said that he will not apologize. Okay, because he said here, you see, Biden said he will never tell an unaccompanied child, like the child who comes by themselves, who ends up at the border, that they're just gonna let them starve to death and stand on the other side. So he's not gonna send kids away. Okay, perhaps the parents have to go away, but according to this article, he said he's not going to send kids away. But we don't know for sure what's really happening, because a lot of news, they're really talking about they are sending kids back. So, but according to him, they'll make sure that they're not going to send kids back, which is a good thing, because you don't know if the parents of the child, they leave the child right there, and then the child is just standing by, the kids are standing by themselves at the border. That's dangerous. So they have to let them in and provide proper care. So that's what he said. That's the takeaway. He's not going to apologize for his policy. He's not going to take kids, he's not going to send kids back. And he actually said that the vice president, Kamala Harris, is going to be leading those efforts to basically address the main cause of the migration at the border. So that's what he said. And there's an article for Political. Political is really a good place to go for article, okay? For especially when you want to know more about immigration. Political is a good newspaper. Really, it's really good. They have more reliable information. Okay, and Biden makes Harris the point person on immigration issues amid border surge. So the Vice President Kamala Harris is going to lead the efforts at the border. So basically what they're going to do is trying to really go into the depth of the problem. What is really going on at the border? Why do we have a lot of people coming, and how can we help, and those things. So, and then they said that she's the one who's really qualified to do this job. So to pretty much be like supervising the job. And what they're going to do is they're going to working to slow the flow of irregular migrants by addressing the root causes that prompt them to leave their home countries, as well as strengthening relationships with Mexico and the northern triangle countries where the bulk of the migrants arriving at the US border come from. So they have to address the cause. Really, they really have to know what they have to do in collaboration with those other countries, Mexico, and just those southern countries. Okay, she's going to be the lead on that effort. Remember, we talked about Women in Mexico policy, and they actually stopped it, but they said that the people who were in Mexico were supposed to remain there until further notice. So we don't know, maybe with this effort, they're going to address that problem as well. Remember, under Biden, we have that remain in Mexico policy, where that if you are asking for asylum, you are going to remain either in Mexico or another country in the south until your case of asylum gets adjudicated. So basically, you file your asylum from outside and you stay there until your asylum gets accepted or approved. That's the policy that Trump came with basically under Trump, the former president. So, but now they really want to work on it and really see what they can do. Okay, keep saying more broadly, thought she's going to be working to implement a long-term strategy that gets at the root cause of migration. So they are going to see what they're going pretty much come up with a solution. I guess that's what they're saying. So she'll be responsible of that effort. So she's the leader in that effort of addressing the root cause of migration at the border. Okay, but now we have the senator. This man, remember this man, Senator Graham? He's a Republican from South Carolina. He was the one who was talking about he's going to support the Dream Act and the Promise Act. But in this interview, he's more concerned about the crisis at the border. I think it's a political game in a way, because everybody now they're talking about the crisis at the border. But that crisis has been there forever. It's not like it's something new. So instead of focusing on the bills, they're just talking about the crisis at the border, and he wants to introduce a bill really to have he want to tackle asylum. And what he's saying is that with asylum, what is going to happen is they're going to create centers outside of the United States. Basically, you know how asylum is about fear of persecution from your home country, then you're running away. But now this man is telling us that they're going to create centers outside of the US. Basically, if you're running away, you stay there in your country, the country that you're actually claiming asylum from. You stay there and you apply from there until your case gets resolved. That's when you're going to move to the US. That's the bill he's trying to come up with and introduce, because he's saying that because of this crisis at the border, they have to come up with tougher asylum policies, and that will discourage people from coming here because they're not going to get in. They're going to stay outside until the asylum case get approved, and they have to really go with the validity of the asylum case. That's the type of policy they want to come up with. That's what this man is talking about. But remember, this man was the one who claimed that he was supporting the Dream Act, the Promise Act, and the Essential Worker, I guess, and the Farm Workforce Modernization Act. But now he's changing tactics, I guess, because of the election coming next year. Everybody is trying to strategize. This is sickening. I'm sick and tired of those people. They can't come up with a solution. Anyway, so, and then the last thing is that that's the from yesterday. This article is from yesterday. Okay, it says that finally a breakthrough Senate actually talking immigration. What's happening with this article is that a couple senators from the Republican side and from the Democrat side, they met. That's yesterday, you see, on March 24th. They met and started to discuss what they're going to do about those bills. But if you read this article, I'm going to leave it to you to read it. But my understanding is that, so it says here, okay, a bipartisan group of senators met to discuss immigration reform. But if you read the article, what they're saying is like they want to, first of all, address the crisis at the border before they start voting on those bills. Remember, we have the DREAM Act, the PROMEX Act, and the Workforce Modernization Act. They don't want to vote on it now because they're claiming that they're not going to give those 60 votes. So they're claiming that the Democrat will not gain 60 votes if they do not address the crisis at the border. Okay, we've got people all over the map. But I think if we really want to get something done, then I think we're going to have to try to show we're working on what's happening at the border right now. So everybody's talking about the crisis at the border, okay? I think that's a strategy. Everybody's using that strategy to say that, okay, if you want us to vote on those bills, please let's talk about the crisis at the border. If you come up with a solution, then I'll sit down and vote. So that's what is going on right now, okay? So if you read it clearly, it's just telling us that they are waiting for a solution, and then they are going to send a lot of senators and U.S. representative at the border in Texas to start really to make sure that to understand what is going on. So that's just like a propaganda, like people going there and come back and say, oh, it's so bad at the border, we can't be voting for those bills until we fix the border issue. So pretty much that's what's going on. So we're waiting for more development. And you see it says Biden immigration reform, chaos explained. So pretty much that's the strategy, okay? And we are just waiting to see what's gonna happen. And you see it says both bill pass with bipartisan support, but neither bill is likely to get necessary 60 votes in the Senate, especially given the current focus on what Republicans are calling Biden's border crisis. So the Republicans are labeling that crisis as a Biden border crisis, pretty much to avoid sitting there and voting for those bills that already they've passed the House already. So that's where we stand currently. Really, no news. Okay. So once I get more news, I'll come back to you. And I'll let you know. But really, that's where we stand currently. Everybody's focusing at the border. Crisis at the border. They can't move forward. They have to fix it first. But how long is it going to take for them to fix it? Because that problem has been there forever. It's not a new problem. This is just a strategy politically that people are using to pretty much delay the vote in the Senate. That's my takeaway. You can have your own takeaway on that. Please make sure you comment below. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm just gonna come here with news if we have some. But lately I've been doing a lot with green cards. So if you wanna take actions on your own case, don't hesitate to email or call my office so we can make an appointment and assess your case and see what we can do, because we cannot really rely on those people to give us a solution where they are really delaying everything on purpose, claiming that there is a crisis at the border so that they can just delay the process. Anyway, so let's just hope that they come back to their senses and sit down and actually vote in the Senate so that those bills can actually pass. Okay, that was it for today, and I hope I will see you in my next video. Until next time, bye bye.